I remember the exact moment frustration peaked. It was a Tuesday night, the gym buzzing with energy, but I felt completely alone under the harsh fluorescent lights. For weeks, I faced the same 315-pound squat, unable to break past 4 shaky reps. My legs would tremble, my breath would catch, and every attempt felt heavier than the last. I was doing everything right, eating clean, weighing every gram, tracking calories, and never missing a meal. I'd set alarms for early morning sessions, made sure to get 8 hours of sleep, and even prepped my gym bag the night before. Yet my progress stalled, my body ached constantly. Shoulders, knees, even my lower back. Motivation plummeted, and the gym, once my sanctuary, felt more like a place of defeat than progress. This is what a training plateau feels like. Spinning your wheels, questioning your program, your genetics, even your dedication. I'd stare at my logbook, seeing the same numbers week after week, wondering if I was just fooling myself. The numbers on the bar wouldn't budge, and I started to wonder if I'd hit my natural limit. Was this as strong as I'd ever get? My body was always tired, warm-ups dragged on forever, and minor aches became constant companions. Even simple stretches felt like a chore. I thought the answer was to push harder, add more sets, more exercises, never skip a day. I'd rewrite my program, convinced that more volume was the solution, but I was wrong. Each session just added more fatigue, and I ignored the need for real recovery. I'd drag myself home, barely able to climb the stairs, but still convinced I just needed to tough it out. I was so focused on lifting that I neglected the other half of the equation. Adaptation. I skipped mobility work, brushed off stretching, and told myself recovery was for the weak. A day off here and there wasn't enough. I was accumulating deep fatigue that a single rest day couldn't fix. My body felt heavy, my mind foggy, and I started to dread the gym. My body was begging for a break, but my mindset was stuck on no days off. I wore my exhaustion like a badge of honor, refusing to listen to what my body was telling me. I was pushing against a wall I'd built myself, brick by brick, with every ignored ache and every skipped recovery session. What I didn't realize was that progress isn't just about working harder. It's about working smarter. I needed to rethink everything I thought I knew about training. I was about to learn a crucial lesson in recovery, one that would change everything about how I trained and how I saw myself as an athlete. To understand why I was stuck, I had to dig deeper into the science behind training plateaus. Let's break down how we actually get stronger and why sometimes progress seems to vanish. Every workout creates two things: fitness and fatigue. Science calls this the fitness-fatigue model. The stimulus from training signals your body to adapt, but it also causes muscle damage, hormonal stress, and drains your energy reserves. Immediately after training, fatigue is high and your strength is temporarily lower. You might notice soreness, poor sleep, or even irritability. As you recover, fatigue drops and your true fitness emerges. This is called supercompensation. It's when your body rebounds stronger than before. The cycle is simple: train, recover, adapt, repeat. But life isn't always that simple. If you don't allow enough recovery, fatigue accumulates and starts to mask your real progress. This is called non-functional overreaching. At first you might just feel a bit tired, maybe you're dragging through workouts or losing motivation. But over time, that tiredness buries your strength. You might notice nagging injuries, mood swings, or even getting sick more often. This is the invisible barrier, a plateau caused by hidden fatigue. It's not just in your head, it's in your body's chemistry. I was building fitness, but I was building even more fatigue. My logbook showed effort, but my body felt stuck. My performance wasn't showing my true strength. It was showing my strength minus all that exhaustion. I was living the classic signs: poor sleep, low motivation, and stalled lifts. My progress wasn't gone. It was just hidden, buried under layers of fatigue and stress. I needed to let the fatigue fade so my hard work could finally show. Real progress needed real rest. That's when I discovered the power of recovery and how it can break through invisible barriers for anyone, not just athletes. Enter the deload, a planned week of lighter training and the secret weapon of elite athletes. The goal isn't to build more fitness, but to shed accumulated fatigue and reveal the strength you've been hiding beneath exhaustion. It's not laziness, it's a strategic reset for your body and mind. Even Olympic champions swear by it. One told me their biggest breakthroughs came right after a deload. During a deload, you still train, but you cut back on weight sets or both. Use this time to perfect your form and reconnect with why you started. For example, you might use 50-60% of your usual weights, halve your sets, and add extra mobility work or stretching. Prioritize sleep and nutrition. This is when your body rebuilds. The key is to leave the gym feeling refreshed, not exhausted. One athlete I know said their best lifts came after a week where they focused on sleep and hydration. This break lets your body catch up. Muscles heal, energy stores refill, and your nervous system recovers. Try a massage or foam rolling to speed up recovery. Mentally, it's a relief from the constant pressure to push harder. Use this week to reflect, set new goals, or simply enjoy moving your body. A deload is an investment in long-term progress. Track your energy and mood. You'll often notice a big jump after a proper recovery week. By dropping fatigue to near zero, you finally see the results of your hard work. I've seen athletes break through plateaus they thought were permanent just by trusting the process. When you return to normal training, you're no longer fighting against hidden exhaustion. You're ready to push new limits. Your true strength is finally unlocked. Celebrate your progress. Every deload is a step toward your next personal best. That's the real magic of a deload. Trust it, embrace it, and watch your hidden strength come alive. My biggest mistake was treating recovery as an afterthought. But I'm not alone. This is one of the most common pitfalls athletes and gym goers face. I only rested when I was completely burned out or injured. I've seen friends do the same, pushing through pain until their bodies forced them to stop. This reactive approach meant I was always playing catch-up with fatigue. Sports physiotherapist Dr. Lee warns that waiting for exhaustion to hit before resting is a recipe for chronic injury. By the time I took a break, I was already deep in exhaustion. A client of mine ignored early signs of burnout and ended up sidelined for weeks with tendinitis. One unplanned day off wasn't enough to fix weeks of accumulated stress. According to strength coach Maria Torres, sporadic rest days can't undo the damage of chronic overtraining. That's why proactive recovery is smarter. Experts agree. Scheduled deloads help prevent the downward spiral of fatigue and injury. Scheduling a deload every 4 to 8 weeks manages fatigue before it becomes a problem. Olympic coach Sarah Kim says, "Planned recovery is the secret weapon of elite athletes. It keeps your training productive and sustainable, reducing the risk of burnout and injury. I've seen athletes bounce back stronger after a well-timed deload. If you don't plan recovery, fatigue ends up dictating your schedule. I've watched teammates miss key competitions because they ignored recovery until it was too late." Forced breaks from exhaustion or injury are far more disruptive than a planned deload. Sports medicine experts emphasize that prevention is always easier than rehab. A scheduled deload keeps you moving, practicing technique, and maintaining momentum. It's a strategy used by everyone from weekend warriors to pros. Unplanned breaks can kill motivation and progress. I've seen entire teams lose their drive after a string of preventable injuries. Take control, plan your recovery, don't let fatigue force it on you. Learn from these mistakes and make recovery a non-negotiable part of your training. After weeks of frustration, exhaustion, and feeling stuck, I finally committed to a full recovery week. I was skeptical. Honestly, I worried I'd lose all my progress. But I followed the plan. I cut my weights in half, slowed everything down, and focused on perfect form. The workouts felt almost embarrassingly easy, and I kept thinking, is this really going to help? But I stuck with it, even when my ego wanted to push harder. I also made sleep and nutrition a top priority. more hours in bed, better meals, and plenty of water. By midweek, the difference was undeniable. The constant aches in my joints faded, my energy returned, and I actually woke up feeling refreshed for the first time in months. Mentally, I felt lighter too. The stress and pressure I'd been carrying melted away, replaced by a sense of calm and renewed motivation. When I finally returned to the squat rack, I was nervous. What if I'd gotten weaker? But as soon as I gripped the bar, I felt different. The bar felt lighter than it had in weeks. My movement was smoother, my confidence was back, and I powered through not just 4, but 6 reps, 2 more than before. I'd smashed my plateau and the feeling was incredible. I looked in the mirror, flexed, and realized I hadn't lost strength. I'd unlocked it. The deload week didn't set me back. It revealed the strength I'd been building all along. My joints felt better. My energy was through the roof. And for the first time in ages, I was genuinely excited to train again. I learned that progress isn't just about grinding harder. It's about giving your body and mind the chance to recover and adapt. Looking back, I realized how much I'd been ignoring the signs of burnout. That single week changed my entire perspective on training and recovery. Sustainable progress means knowing when to push and, just as importantly, when to pull back. Before, I thought rest was weakness. Now I see it as a secret weapon. Sometimes the smartest way to get stronger is to step back, breathe, and let your body catch up to your ambition. Recovery isn't a pause from progress. It's a vital part of the process, and now I'll never skip it again. How do you know it's time for a deload? Sometimes the signs are obvious. Other times they sneak up on you. If you're stuck at the same weights or reps for weeks, or suddenly missing lifts you used to crush, that's a clear sign. Persistent soreness and achy joints that never fully recover are red flags. I remember a week where my knees ached every morning, no matter how much I stretched. New or worsening joint pain means your body isn't keeping up with the stress. If you find yourself reaching for the ice pack more often, take notice. Poor sleep, low motivation, and feeling irritable or apathetic are warning signs. I once snapped at a friend for no reason after a tough week. Turns out I just needed rest. If training feels like a chore, not a passion, your body and mind need a break. When you dread the gym, it's time to listen. Constant fatigue, needing more caffeine, or getting sick more often are also signals. I caught a cold 3 times in 2 months before I realized I was overdoing it. Overtraining can suppress your immune system and drain your energy. Skipping your usual post-workout routine, that's a sign too. If you notice a mix of these, stalled progress, soreness, poor sleep, low motivation, frequent illness, or just feeling off, it's time to deload. Listen to your body and don't ignore the warning signs. Strategic recovery is the key to long-term success. Trust me, taking a step back can help you leap forward. Planning a deload is simple, but following a step-by-step approach makes it even more effective for any fitness level. Step 1. Decide how you'll deload. The most common method is to reduce intensity. Use 50-60% of your usual weights, but keep sets and reps the same. Step 2. Or reduce volume. Keep the weight, but cut sets or reps in half. You can also combine both. Lower the weight and do fewer sets. Step 3. Use this week to focus on perfect form, mobility, and stretching. Try new mobility drills or revisit basics. Step 4. Monitor your recovery. Track your sleep, hydration, and energy levels. Use a journal or fitness app to note how you feel each day. Step 5. Avoid common pitfalls. Don't push to failure, skip ego lifting, and resist the urge to add extra sets or cardio. Remember, the goal is to leave the gym feeling better than when you walked in. Embrace the lighter workload. Schedule deloads every 4-8 weeks, depending on your training intensity and experience. Use online templates or apps to plan ahead. For more guidance, check out resources like Stronger by Science, Renaissance Periodization, or your favorite fitness app for deload week plans. Step 6. After your deload, reflect on your progress. Adjust your next training block based on how you feel and what you learned. Make deloads a regular, scheduled part of your program, not just something you do when you're exhausted. Your body and your results will thank you for it. That's how you break through plateaus, avoid burnout, and keep getting stronger, one smart recovery week at a time.